Now to this. American Airlines is facing a lawsuit after 3 men accused the airline of racial discrimination. Now, according to the suit, multiple black male passengers were removed from a flight in January. The filing says an airline representative ordered each man off the plane before takeoff due to a complaint about a black male's body odor. They weren't specific, so the flight staff ordered 8 black men off the flight. The lawsuit filed by 3 of the men says the incident was, quote, traumatic, upsetting, scary, humiliating, and degrading. In a statement, American Airlines says it takes all claims of discrimination seriously and is investigating. Joining us to talk about it tonight, pastor and journalist Dr. Ruth Allen Olison, avid traveler Victoria Andrews, and etiquette expert Darian Lewis. First of all, Dr. Ruth, your thoughts on this case when someone is accused of smelling bad, one person, but they tell all the black males. They got a description saying a black male smells bad on this flight. And so the flight staff pulled 8 black males off. Your thoughts on this?
It's ridiculous. It reeks of black while flying. We don't want to get to that point. And, you know, if a person has BO, which I've had to deal with as a leader and as a manager, that's going to be one person. A leader, a servant, a good manager takes care of that, talks to that person, even offers a solution for that. But to do this to the whole group of black men, it's disturbing. It's extremely disturbing to me as a wife, mother, grandmother, aunt, sister to black males.
Now, it's my understanding once they made all of them get off the plane, deplane, they got off the plane to try and get another flight. They had to get back on the plane. This is after the staff said someone in that group smells bad. Right. And so they have to get back on the plane, humiliated, and everyone's looking at them, probably smelling them. So, Victoria, you're an avid flyer. You travel a lot.
Yes.
What would it be like to go through something like that, and your thoughts on this situation?
So as a flyer, and I've been on here talking about being a person of size flying, I do understand that when you're in a public space and you're traveling with other people, that you will run into some instances, right? But my thing is it's about respect, and there was no way to know apparently who had the body odor, and it was definitely racially targeted. They didn't take anybody else off the plane except these black men, and so I think they are justified in pursuing what they are, because as a person, you already get on. They were the only black men on the flight. Well, they were the only black people on the flight. And so to already feel in a space that you're, you know, singled out already, but then for people to treat you like that is unacceptable. And, you know, American has had its issues. So.
Yeah, just last week they said a 9-year-old girl should have known there was a recording device on her toilet seat. And of course, then they fired the entire legal staff. But several people have filed lawsuits against American in that case where there was a video recording device by one of the flight attendants planted on one of their seats, according to investigators. But they said the victim, a 9-year-old girl, should have known it was there. But then they came back and said that attorney has been terminated, doesn't represent us. But Darian, your thoughts on a flight staff being so damn stupid to say something and to take that action in 2024. Yes. Well, they said one black guy smells bad, so let's bring you all off.
Yeah, right.
That is dumb.
That is dumb. That's deplorable. That is
and
despicable.
A lawsuit waiting to happen.
Absolutely. It's a violation of your constitutional right. You know, we all have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, correct? And what this does is this validates this idea, this perception that's based on what people see, what people people think and what people assume about you, it feeds into this narrative that if one person is guilty, then we're all guilty, which is so unfortunate, but it's also the status of where we are as a society today. For that employee to make that action and take that stance, he also should have been responsible and accountable to say, no, not all of them. It was this person. And that way we could have addressed it one-on-one with that individual. He could have been treated with dignity and respect. He could have been allowed to rebook or whatever, but to engraft everyone in that situation and embarrass everyone, I mean, we all should be outraged, not just as a black man, but as a flyer. Any one of us could have been subject to that kind of treatment, and that's what makes me so upset, is that, you know, when injustice happens, it's like what Dr. King says, we don't tolerate injustice, because injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere.
Right.
And really quick, Darren, since you're an etiquette expert, there are individuals from other countries who just may not wear deodorant.
Correct.
And that may be an irritant to someone from America. And it may be something as simple as that. Do you think that's reason to report it to the flight staff?
Absolutely not, because they purchased a ticket. They are a paying customer, and you must treat all customers with respect, regardless of how that impacts you. You have to treat everybody fairly, because there are customs, there are religious practices, there are all kinds of reasons why a person may not have a pleasant body odor, and that is actually subjective, because what we consider to be pleasant in other countries is very offensive. So we have to always err on the side of caution and use some diplomacy, use some tact, use some timing and tone, and address people with care and concern.
All right, we want to thank you all for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored. Just incredible story, unbelievable, but it is reality.